Hey everyone. I talked yesterday about something that was swirling in my head, kind of signs that you need to leave a relationship. And I had mentioned breathing exercises as something that may use as a coping mechanism. And I had mentioned offhand how they don't really work for me typically. And that's not the normal response of somebody who has tried them. Normally people say, oh, breathing exercises don't work, but they never actually tried it, whereas I have tried it and they didn't work for me. So I'm going to list 4 reasons why they don't work for me, and hopefully maybe you'll resonate with some of it, or maybe you've got an idea that'll help me. I've actually signed up to do a breathing seminar tonight, a free breathing seminar. So I will probably talk about my thoughts about that tomorrow. But the 4 reasons why breathing exercises typically don't work for me. First of all, they bring attention to my asthma. I didn't actually get diagnosed with asthma until I was about 24 years old. And it's both exercise induced and induced by cigarette smoke. It's a big irritant. It's easier for me to just tell people I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, but reality is that it triggers my asthma. The more exposure I have to it, the more sensitive I get. And then if I start, having an asthma attack, typically 2 days later I end up with a sinus infection if it's triggered by cigarette smoke. So, these breathing exercises typically bring extra attention to my asthma because I cannot do the deep breathing all the time, especially, if I'm having an asthma attack. I definitely cannot breathe in without having to immediately cough it back out. If my if my trachea is restricted, it's very difficult for me to breathe, and I just start coughing all the time, and I wheeze, and it's awful. It's definitely not fun. 2, the second reason breathing exercises typically don't work for me, doing them in public brings unwanted attention to myself, especially when I'm at work or school or at home. If somebody doesn't know that I'm going through something and I just start doing the breathing, I need to have I normally, when I get to the point where it's something that I would try, I'm already beyond the point where I have the foresight to, run to the bathroom or run into an empty office, close the door, just kind of do something alone. And, people are kind of like, Rich, what are you doing? You all right? And that just, increases my anxiety through the roof when people notice that's something wrong with me. So, doing them, it's different if I'm like, say, in Walmart or a Target, everybody's too busy doing whatever they need to be doing, finding whatever they need to be finding, that, they're probably not noticing that I would be doing a breathing exercise. So that's different. But when I am in usually this would happen in a situation where people around me are paying attention to me, whether they need my help for something or we're talking. I just can't, I don't often have the foresight to just kind of go and do that. So when I'm doing a breathing exercise, it's kind of, I'm already at that peak anxiety and I just can't function, and I'm kind of just using it's a last ditch effort. But more importantly, number 3, they don't remove me from the danger or the anxiety inducing situation. When I get into that kind of a state where people say you should be doing a breathing exercise, I'm in the, I'm a little too in the moment. And just saying they're doing a breathing exercise does not remove me from the person screaming at me. It does not remove me from the stress of something blowing up next to me. It doesn't remove me from the situation. It doesn't remove me from the danger. All it does is just, tell me to calm myself down, whereas I can see everything blowing up around me and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and I freak out. The breathing exercises don't remove me from that situation. Now, if my heart is racing and I don't know why, or if I'm just at rest and all of a sudden something's going wrong, well, then that's different. The breathing exercise probably would help because I'm already removed from the danger. And number 3 kind of leads into number 4. Taking the time to focus on my breath increases my available bandwidth in my brain to be aware of my surroundings. And when I'm still in danger, being in the moment makes my panic attack worse. So, let's say, let's say somebody plays a joke on you. I have a very intense fear of needles and getting blood taken. And let's just say somebody plays a prank on me. Oh, well, did you know that, did you know you had to get blood drawn tomorrow? And for whatever reason, oh, and it's a medical requirement, you can't opt out. Well, that's panic inducing. I can't focus on anything else other than that person in front of me. Even if I know it's a lie, I still want to strangle that person. And taking the time to focus on my breath just kind of allows me to focus more on what's going on around me, and the fact that somebody standing right in front of me is, purposefully trying to get my dander up, and I'm not allowed to walk away. If I'm allowed to walk away, I'll just walk away. That's completely different. But when you are in a situation where you cannot be removed from the danger, you cannot remove yourself from the situation, breathing exercises only irritate me further. Like I said, once you are removed from the situation, trying to calm down, they work pretty well. At the very least, they calm you enough to start yawning, which, is definitely a sign of relaxation. I've always been told you're doing the breathing exercise right if you end up yawning in the middle of it, because that's kind of just, your brain is kind of prepping for sleep, or just relaxed enough that it can really take in more oxygen. And that's, so when I'm in music class, or I was, with marching band or drum corps, we do our breathing exercises. There's no danger around you. You're with friends, you're with, your chosen family. You're just, opening your lungs together and preparing for a really great practice together. So in that case, breathing exercises are fantastic. But for from the standpoint of reducing anxiety or a coping mechanism in the moment, they don't work for me because they bring attention to my asthma. Doing them in public, it brings unwanted attention to myself. They don't remove me from the dangerous situation, and then taking the time to focus on my breath increases that available bandwidth in my mental state to focus on my surroundings while I'm still in danger. So those are the situations in which, no, I don't want to be doing a breathing exercise. It doesn't work for me. In fact, it makes things worse for me. When a breathing exercise would be good is before bed, first thing in the morning, or, when you're ready to, before you start exercising, or even after you start exercising, like when you're done with your workout. Those are the situations in which a breathing exercise is awesome. So if anyone has any suggestions as to help with my my 4 reasons why breathing exercises don't work for me, let me know.